Welcome to the Financial Aid FAFSA CADAA presentation. The objectives are to recognize the importance of completing the FAFSA and CADAA, to understand the steps to complete the FAFSA and CADAA, understand the types of financial aid that's available, and complete a web grants for students account, as well as complete the FAFSA and CADAA before the deadline. There are several different types of financial aid. All are listed here. Grants, work study, state aid, institutional aid, and scholarships are all money that does not need to be repaid. Loans, however, do need to be repaid. You can get either subsidized or unsubsidized loans. Subsidized is when the interest is paid while the student is in school full time, and unsubsidized is when the loan starts accruing interest as soon as it's given to the student, as soon as it's allocated to the school. Work study is something that the student gets a job and works, and that's how that money is paid. So those are normally on-campus jobs, and those are easier to find when you have work study because a portion of that is coming from this federal financial assistance. What is the FAFSA and CADAA? The free application for federal student aid allows students to apply for financial aid for college. And it also can be for trade schools as well. Applicants may be awarded students aid in the form of grants, work studies, and loans, just like I mentioned. There's also the California DREAM Act. This is for our undocumented students. The California DREAM Act application, also known as the CADAA, allows undocumented and non-resident students who meet the eligibility requirements for a non-resident exemption, also known as AB 540, to receive financial aid. Applicants may be awarded state aid in the form of scholarships, state-administered financial aid, fee waivers, university grants, and California state grants. California Dreamer Service Incentive Grant. 2,500 Cal Grant B service incentive grants of up to $3,000 per year. Our eligible students must perform at least 100 hours per quarter or 150 per semester of community service and attend a California public or independent institution. CSAC will administer the program, and here check CSAC's listserv emails for updates or visit here. So I'm going to actually click in here and hopefully that comes up. Nope, it comes up on my other screen. So that's not going to work. So the CDSIG is continued. You will need a completed and successfully completed CADAA, which is that California DREAM Act application. You will need to be enrolled at a California grant eligible school, and you will have to have an active Cal Grant B award and show sufficient financial need. Why apply for financial aid? The application is free, easy, and it's fast. You complete the FAFSA or the CADAA even if you don't think you could qualify for financial aid. It's just something that is going to help students prepare for what to do after high school. Even when I have students that talk about, I'm going to take a gap year or I'm going to do something, I still encourage my students to complete the FAFSA or the CADAA to help them have a plan B in case plan A does not work out. Students are eligible for Cal Grants, which is free money, if they simply fill out the FAFSA or the CADAA. The FAFSA versus the CADAA. Which application do I use? Well, if you're a US citizen, you fill out the FAFSA, which is the free application for federal student aid. If you're a permanent resident, you fill out the FAFSA. Eligible non-citizen, has a social security number, TV visa holder, and will attend any college in the United States. For students that would fill out the California DREAM Act application, it would be undocumented students that have no social security number, valid or expired DACA, U visa holder, temporary protected status, and have been high school attendants in a California school for 3 or more years and will attend a California college. So the CADAA only works for students attending a California college. The FAFSA process, and I put that little cute bear in there because for some people this might be boring, but I think it's very important for you to know. Ways to apply. You can download the My Student app, the Student Aid app today onto your phone, to your smartphone. You can put it on, you can access it through your desktop or laptop or your tablet. The My Student Aid mobile app is, you will find My FAFSA, complete, sign, submit a FAFSA form. You will complete your FSA ID, which is your Federal Student Aid Identification Number. I'll get into that again a little bit more in the next slide. My federal loans, which you can view federal student loan history. My college scorecard, which you can view and compare info about colleges. Your FAFSA, contact centers, and your studentaid.gov access FSA key source of info about federal student aid program, application process, and loan repayment options. All TCS students are highly encouraged to start their FAFSA or CADAA apps through their californiacolleges.edu account. So all of our students are partnered with the californiacolleges.edu and should be able to look at their information to start your FAFSA or your CADAA through that website. The FSA ID, which stands for the Federal Student Aid Identification Number. So this is used to access your FAFSA online and to electronically sign your FAFSA. Again, this is only for FAFSA, not CADAA students. CADAA students wouldn't have this part. This is a step that they will not have. Please create your account through the FAFSA website and read the facts. Reminders, use a personal email, so no school, work, or all the ones that are highlighted. Use a password that does not contain special characters, so no exclamation points, number signs, or hashtags as they call it, percents, etc. It's just letters and numbers. Parents and students may not share the same FSA ID. Each of them will have to complete their own. And verify your account with your mobile number. This is a new feature that's available, that a student can link their mobile number to your FSA ID, which is another just security backup to help. Tip number 1, keep a notebook with your usernames, password, and security questions. You will need it for every year you fill out the FAFSA or the CADAA. This is not information you're going to remember all the time, and you do want to make it a bit different than your traditional passwords and usernames. College Scholarship Services Profile, CSS profile. I had to look all over the place to find out what CSS stood for, and I found it. So College Scholarship Services. Some private colleges and non-California public college systems, as well as some scholarship competitions, ask for additional information such as home equity, income, and assets from non-custodial parents, retirement plans, etc. This is not used for awarding federal or state aid, only aid from the colleges or universities. So this is done through the College Board, which is the College Board is the one who does the SATs, PSATs, AP, CLEP, all these different types of tests. College Board also has this CSS profile ability for students who are going to private universities to get scholarships. So the cost, unlike anything else, there is a cost for this one. The cost is $25 for registration for one college. So that'll be information that can possibly lead to some college and scholarships for private schools. It definitely can be worth it if you are planning to go to a private college. There's a cost of $16 for each additional college that you're sending this information to. Online registration only, and it's at cssprofile.collegeboard.org. There's, if you could see here, I'm hovering over, hopefully you can see that. That's the website. And if you want this presentation, you can email me and request it. Make sure you put that financial aid presentation in the subject line so I know why you're emailing it, and I can email you a copy and you'll have all these links. And then here's the participating institutions, which there's hundreds of participating institutions that are in this. So you can see if there's a university that the student is interested in attending, and then you'll be able to see if that is going to be worth your $25 to send some money there. So again, this is for private schools or universities. So back to the FAFSA, 7 sections of the FAFSA. The first is your student information, your school selection, dependency status, parent information, parent financial information, student financial information, as well as where you sign and submit. So the next part I'm going to talk about is your school selection. You can choose up to 10 colleges or trade schools or universities to receive your financial aid information. At least one should be a California school to see what type of Cal Grant award that you will get. You can add additional schools 1 week after submitting the FAFSA. Use the official college name. And also, when you are filling in your financial aid or your California DREAM Act application, make sure that you're submitting this information exactly how you registered for school. It's your legal name. You are not putting any type of nicknames or anything like that. You're putting your legal name as you enrolled in school, because this information is cross-matched to make sure that you are filling in everything appropriately and that you're going to get the most award money and that there's no errors. So if you go by, if your name is Alexander, you normally go by Alex, you want to list Alexander on the application. And the address is also listed, the address that you enrolled for school. So whatever you enrolled for school this school year, you want to make sure that's the same information that you're listing on your FAFSA or your CADAA. Very important. Dependency status. Dependents are anyone who lives with their parent or guardian and is single. So most of our students are going to be listed as dependent. Even if they turn 18 years old and then parents are like, okay, you graduated, you're out, and they're expected to go, they still have to be listed as dependent unless you have done some extra steps to become emancipated, which then, as you can see on the independent side, if you're emancipated, you then are able to list yourself as independent. However, most of our students are going to be listed as dependent. If you are a foster youth anytime after the age of 13, you will be listed as independent. If you have your own child that you provide more than 50%, so 51% of financial support that you provide to you and your child, then you're considered independent. Homeless, unaccompanied, and youth under 24, which is determined by the school's homeless liaison, or you're 24 years and older, then you're considered independent. Who's my parent when I fill out my FAFSA? And this little diagram here is going to take you through. I'm not going to go through this step by step. I think this is enough. And again, you're watching this video so you can pause it and look at it as long as you need. The IRS data retrieval tool. This is a wonderful tool that you definitely want to use if you are able to. The DRT data retrieval tool imports federal tax information to the FAFSA. You must have a valid Social Security number and own email address. Who is not eligible? Victims of identity theft, married student or parent who filed as married, filing separate or head of household, Parents' marital status is unmarried and both legal parents are living together. Simple steps to transfer tax information into your FAFSA. And again, I'm not going to go over this step by step. You can stop the video at any time and read through it. Tip number 2, save your FAFSA or CADAA information often. See that little save button I have right over here? Make sure you click that so that you're able to not lose any of that important information that you've entered thus far. Once completed, make sure to review thoroughly before submitting. So you want to go through everything and check the details of what you're submitting. Common mistakes: listing a person as a parent that has not legally adopted the student. So if you live with your grandparents and they're the ones that are raising you, however, they're guardians of you and they have not adopted you, you can't list them as your parents. You must list a parent's information. You can't list your foster parent, your older sibling, your widowed step parent unless they have legally adopted you. Listing only one college to receive your FAFSA data. You don't want to do that. You want to list a few. So again, if you're going to choose, let's say some of the Los Rios colleges, list all 4. So if you're planning to go to CRC, Consumers River College, make sure you put Folsom Lake College down, Sac City College down, as well as American River College. So they can all get your information. And the great thing about something like that is you're able to go to either campus just in case, let's say there's an English class you wanted to take and it's not available at Consumers River College, which is your home-based college. So you can go over to Folsom Lake and take it, and they have your financial aid data readily available because you listed it to all 4 of those campuses. Not providing net worth assets as of the date of your FAFSA, including primary residence, retirement, and assets. Listing a business as an asset if it has 99 employees or less. Listing the correct amount of family members in the household. Anyone in the household that the parent financially supports over 50% can also be listed as a family member. Tip number 3, search for scholarships using the internet and contact the colleges the student is interested in attending. You should never pay to find scholarships. Some useful websites are FastWeb, Niche, Sally Mae, and there's tons and tons of others. So get out there, look. I mean, we're on the internet on a regular basis. You could do that through your phone. Look for those scholarships. There's ways to help pay for college, and every little one helps. I don't care if it's a 200, 500, so forth. Apply for those scholarships. It's a matter of just making sure you put in the work. Cal Grant. Cal Grant Commission's program. A Cal Grant is money for college you do not have to pay back. I know that was mentioned earlier in the presentation. It's state-funded grants. To qualify, students must apply for the FAFSA or the CADAA by the deadline and meet eligibility requirements. Cal Grant A, B, and C. There's a middle class scholarship, a California Chafee grant, which goes to foster youth, law enforcement dependence grant, the California Military Department GI Bill Award program, and the Golden State Teacher Grant program. It's a newer program. It's not brand new though. So your basic eligibility: submit the FAFSA or CADAA by March 2nd. Verify your GPA by March 2nd. This is done electronically. So if you're a graduating student, you would have had the option to opt out last year. We sent out something as well if you wanted to opt out. Hopefully you don't, because again, you have the ability to get California grants just by them having access to your GPA. You have to be a U.S. citizen or eligible non-citizen, so AB 540, be a California resident for at least 1 year, attend a qualifying California college, not have a bachelor's or professional's degree, and have financial need. The web grants for students. This is a really important part that students need to complete. So along with your FAFSA and CADAA, you also should create this web grant for students. And here's the place that you go to create that account. The purpose of creating this account is to have access to your Cal Grant awards. It's important to do this if you plan to attend a CSU, UC, or California Community College. The California State Aid Commission created a great video to show you how to do this. You can find that video right here. And then I would suggest applying to or subscribing to the CSAC videos, because there's some other good videos that'll come out to give you some more information. But this is where you check the Web Grants for Students account, is where you check on your Cal Grant award money. So Cal Grants A, B, and C. And C has the asterisk, so there's no GPA requirement for C. So Cal Grant A, minimum GPA 3.0. You're pursuing a 4-year degree. Covers up to 4 years of tuition and fees at a California university. For community college students, it will go on reserve until the student transfers to a 4-year college. This is what a Cal Grant A can be awarded for students. Again, a minimum GPA is a 3.0. Important to make sure you're staying on top of your grades. So the reserve money would be $5,742 if you're going to a community college. 12,570, and that's a CSU. 12,570 would be if you are going to a UC. A private nonprofit, $9,084, or a for-profit, $4,000. This is the money that you can get. And then Cal Grant B, your minimum GPA is a 2.0. You're pursuing a 2-year, a certificate, or a 4-year degree, and it covers up to 4 years. So here's the award money, how it breaks down. For a breakdown of each type of grant, review the CSAC resource. And again, you can see that you can try to go there, or you can request a copy of this presentation. So it covers Cal Grant A, tuition and fees covered at a 4-year California college, minimum GPA, again, a 3.0, or if you're in college, like a community college, the GPA minimum is a 2.4. Program must lead to a degree. So you must be working on some type of degree. Cal Grant B, living allowance the first year up to $1,672. College years 2 to 4, living allowance plus tuition and fees, minimum GPA 2.0. And then your Cal Grant C, up to $1,094 for books, tools, and equipment, up to $2,462 for tuition and fees for schools outside of the California Community College Network, maximum 2 years. Income guidelines for the Cal Grants. Student Success Completion Grant. This is a newer grant. Oh, I did not mean to do that. This is a newer grant that's available for students, up to $4,000 for students who are eligible for Cal Grant B or C and enrolled in 15 units or more. Again, that's the Student Success Completion Grant. So this is money on top of money that was already just talked about. And here are your income guidelines. So A and C and B. Middle class scholarship, enrolled at a CSU or UC, enrolled in at least half-time. There is no GPA requirement, and it's for families that make up to $184,000 annually, and it's awarded for up to 4 years. And again, the more a family makes closer to this $184,000, the less that middle class scholarship will be, but it might help cover some books. The Chafee Grant. Now, if you are or were in foster care for at least one day between ages 16 and 18, then you could qualify for an additional grant of up to $5,000 for career and technical training or college. There's the code right there that you can scan. And once you scan that, it can give you some more information. This is taken directly from the CSAC website. So this is information that they share with us counselors to share with students and families. The Chafee Grant can be used towards childcare, transportation, or rent at a California college or university, career or technical school, or school in other states. So this is not exclusive to the state of California like the other Cal Grants are. To learn about the Chafee Grant, visit the California State Aid Commission website, and it's right here. And that's probably not the best color text because that's playing with my eyes, so it may be playing with yours. New Foster Youth Access Award. Current and former foster youth receiving Cal Grant will now qualify for an access award of up to $6,000 for non-tuition expenses. Law Enforcement Dependence Grant. The Law Enforcement Personnel Dependence Grant Program provides need-based educational grants to dependents and spouses of California peace officers, Highway Patrol, Marshal, Sheriff, police officers, Department of Corrections, and California Youth Authority employees, and permanent full-time firefighters employed by public entities who lost their lives in the line of duty or 100% disabled as a result of an accident or injury that occurred while on duty. Grants awards match the amount of a Cal Grant award and range from $100 to $12,192 for up to 4 years. The California Military Dependent GI Bill Award Program. The minimum GPA is a 2.0. You have to be a California resident at a California college and enroll in 3 units or more per term. The maximum award amount at a California community college is the equivalent of a Cal Grant B per academic year. The award amount of the 2020-21 academic year. This is a little bit older information, so I don't think I had this, that's why it wasn't updated, is $1,656 per academic year or $128 per semester. And then you can go ahead and pause it if you want to continue to read through the rest of that information. The Golden State Teacher Grant Program. The Golden State Teacher Program encourages students to consider earning a teaching credential and teach in a high need field at a priority school in California for 4 years within 5 years after completing a teacher preparation program. The CSAC will award $20,000 Golden State Teacher Grants to over 4,400 eligible students across California that are enrolled in a CTC, Commission on Teacher Credentialing, approved teacher preparation program in or after January 1st, 2020. Applicants must agree to all terms and conditions of this grant. And this is where you go to review more information. Cash for College. These are incredible workshops that are available for anyone completing the FAFSA or the CADAA. These workshops are mostly online. There are several that are in person, so it's up to you what you feel most comfortable with. But if you need help completing this application, then these are the workshops that are for you. The California State Aid Commission offers free financial aid workshops. You can click here and you can see cashforcollege.csac.ca.gov, and you can go through the list of workshops that are available. Students, families can attend the Cash for College workshops for help completing the FAFSA, CADAA, or your Chafee Grant for foster youth applicants. So this is something you can definitely participate in if you need help. Not everybody needs assistance. Some of it's pretty straightforward, especially if you're utilizing the IRS data retrieval tool or and you have all the necessary information in order to get that done. I will be participating in some of the online ones this school year, so you can join for some of those. The California Promise. I love the California Promise. California College Promise provides 2 years of free tuition into a California community college. You must apply for the FAFSA or CADAA to be eligible. The goal is to get more young adults to graduate from a California community college in 2 years and into either a 4-year college or the workforce. A student is eligible if they register for 12 units or more and maintain passing grades in all 12 units or more. So that's really important, because if you go underneath those 12 units, let's say you drop a class and now you're at 9, then you can, you'll lose the rest of that California Promise. So you won't be able to have any more money that's available. Beat the deadline of March 2nd. You can start filing for financial aid October 1st of each year. Financial aid applications are due by March 2nd of each year. This is for Cal Grants. If you really want, and that's a lot of extra money, I don't know about you, but $5,000 can go pretty far to help pay for your tuition. So if you are not worried about that, then you may procrastinate, but I highly encourage you to get the application done to that October 1st deadline or opening date as possible. Don't wait till the last minute. The earlier you file, the more grant money you are likely to receive. Applications completed after the March 2nd deadline will not be eligible for California state aid, those Cal Grants. New financial aid application completion requirements. This is AB 469 requirements begins in the 2022-2023 academic year. It adopts a requirement that the local education agency, LEA, will confirm that all their graduating seniors, or for us students, complete a financial aid application or an opt-out waiver. Requirements for local education agencies begin again 2022-2023. Requires the commission to develop regulations and standardized forms. So CSAC is going to have everything available for students and allows the students to opt out for any reason, and allows legal service organization and immigrant resource centers to help in completing those applications. September 2nd is a deadline for California community college students. There's a new Cal Grant A and B deadline for students enrolled at a California community college. So if you're planning to graduate from high school this year and enroll at a community college, you'll have a different deadline requirement, which would be September 2nd. But hopefully you got your applications done, either your CADAA or your FAFSA. You get that done in October and you won't have to worry about it. New students receiving an award at a California community college may remain eligible to receive their award after they transfer to a UC or CSU. Students transferring to a private institution may consider for a transfer entitlement or a competitive Cal Grant. And foster youth who qualify for Cal Grant B by September 2nd may also be considered high school entitlement applicants. Here's some resources available for you. And again, you can click on those. And additional resources here. These are some great videos at Woodland Community College that if you need more information, they go through some step-by-step tutorials. And then again, that Cash for College, which is so important if you do need assistance completing your financial aid applications. Thank you so much. And again, if you like a copy of this presentation, you can email me at the email listed and put financial aid presentation in the subject deadline, and I will send you a copy of that.